So I want us to quickly work on the settings modal and basically the settings functionality. And so let's not waste too much time. The first thing we're going to do is let us quickly collapse this, and then we'll go into the app directory here, and then we'll come to the API folder here. Then we'll come and create. Okay, so we already have the folder. I think I pre-created it. So you create a folder called settings inside the API folder right here. All right, then inside this settings folder, what you need is you create the route.ts like this. All right, so once you are done with that, you want to say what you want to export async. Okay, so you want to export async. Then you have what your function, so you can write function like this, and then you have what you have a post, so you make it a push request. Then inside here you have request like this, and this request is going to be the type of request just like this. All right, then right after that has been set, you have to come out here and then open up this function just like this. All right, that is awesome. So first of all, what we are going to do is we're going to create our try catch block just like this. We're going to set the error type to any, so just like this, like we always do. And then inside here, what we can do is what the first thing is we just console log. So we just console log. We can see something like what error settings or settings error. So settings error like this, and then outside we are just going to pass the error like this. All right, that is awesome. All right, so right after that we just come down here and then we come and return a new next response just like this, and we just pass it in, say internal server error just like this. Then right after we are done, we just come and then set the status to be 500 just like this. All right, so right after we are done with that, what we need to do is first of all we need the current user, so just say const current user just like this, and we just await what the get current user service that we created like this. So it also get current user action that we created like this over here. All right, so now that we have that get current user, what we are going to say is what's const body, and then this body is going to be what await request dot json. So await request dot json. So basically we are just passing our body in a JSON format, right? Then right after that, what we want to do is we want to get the name input, the name and the body input just like this. Body from name and image input, name and image, and we are getting it from the body just like this. Awesome. Now right after doing this, what we want to quickly do is we want to say if if our current user, like this, if current user dot id can't be found like this, or if the person is not logged in, what we want to say is what we want to return. If we like, we can just copy this and then just change it. So you can just copy that, come and paste it, then we just change this message to be unauthorized just like this. All right, then we just set this 500 to what 401 just like this. All right, so right after we've been able to do our important check, what we are going to say is what const updated user is going to be equal to what await prisma dot user dot what update like this, and we are simply going to pass in where, and then this where is going to be what id, and then the id is current user dot id like this. All right, then right after we are done, we want to say what, pass in the following data once you get the ID. That is what's going to be what, the image and the name, just like this, and then we are good to go. So right after, just make sure you return, so you return what, your next response. So next response dot json, and then you pass in the updated user, just like this. All right, so now that we've been able to set this one up just like this, what we are quickly going to do is we need to come into our desktop sidebar. So you can just do Control P. So how I got this was Control P, and I'll just search for the founding. So desktop sidebar here, I'll just select it, and then we open it, and you can see it is inside our components. So basically, let me quickly collapse this so that we find it. So inside the app, then you come into the component here, then inside the sidebar, then you have your desktop sidebar right here. All right, so inside here, what we want to do is we want to quickly collapse this, and then we wrap it around an empty fragment, just like this. So I just cut this, and then I'll come down here and I'll come and paste it right here. Then right after I'm done pasting it, what I'll do is I'll just set, so I'll just say settings, so settings modal. So the settings modal, of course we do not have the settings modal, and we are going to create it immediately, but don't worry. Then what you're going to say is you're going to take current user and then pass in this current user, just like this. And then after, what we want to do is we want to say is open, then this is open is going to be what, is open like this. We are going to pass it inside just like this. All right, then right after we are done, we want to say on close, is going to be on close like this. All right, okay, so yeah, I thought we were passing in props, but that's what we're going to be doing in the next file. So we just do what, set is open to be what, false. Sorry about that. So to be false, just like this. All right, so right after setting up our settings modal like this, we're obviously going to be getting the error because we do not have the settings modal. So let us quickly just create it by coming to the sidebar here, and then we just create what, settings modal like this, .tsx like this. Then inside we just say rafce, and then this rafce should basically allow us create it like this, and then we can come and then just come and import it just like this. You can see it getting imported here. All right, so right after we've been able to import it, what is the next thing that we want to do? So we want to come here and create our interface. So this interface is going to be what, settings modal props, just like this. And this settings modal props is going to be is open is going to be an optional boolean like this, right? And then after we set on close to be a void, so a function void like this. Then we say what, current, so you say current user, just like this, set it to user like this. All right, so right after we are done setting up our interface like this, what we want to do is we want to come in and make sure that our component recognizes it. So we say react.fc, and then we just wrap it around these angular brackets. Then we pass in what, settings modal props, just like this. That is awesome. So right after, what we want to do is we want to collect all these props that we were able to set up in our interface. So we just see what is open. So again, it's open, on close, and current user like this. Awesome. Let us continue. So right after getting the props, or right after getting them inside, what we want to do is we want to come and then get the router too as well. So we say what's const router, and then we are going to be getting it from use router and that is going to be coming from next/navigation, just like this. Then we come here and then we come and create a use state for loading. So we say what const is loading slash comma set is loading, just like this. And then we come and set the use state to be exactly like this. Then we see what false, just like this. All right, so now that we have this loading and set is loading, what we want to come and do is we want to use React hook form. All right, so let us quickly say const. Then for this particular part, I don't know why, but I think when we got here I had to reinstall React hook form. So in case we are doing this part and then you get an error or you're experiencing errors, don't worry, just reinstall React hook form and I think you should be good to go. All right, so right after opening up this curly braces, we want to equate it to what use form, like this, and then it's going to be coming from React hook form, nice and clean. Then we want to make sure that inside here we are passing in the default values like this, and then these default values are going to be what name, and then the name is going to be the current user like this slash question mark name like this. Then the next is going to be the image, and then the image is going to be what current user then image, just like this. Then let's not forget to pass in our field values interface or field values type here. So it's going to be what field values, just like this. All right, this is awesome. If you've been able to do this, you're doing a great job. So let's just continue. So inside this curly braces right here, what we want to quickly do is we want to get what the register right here. Then we give it a comma, we come for handle submit, just like this. We give that one to a comma, and then we come and then we look for set value, then we give that a comma, then we come and look for watch, so watch, then we give that one to a comma, and then we find what form state, and then this form state is going to be taking in what errors, just like this. Great job. So right after doing this part like this, what we want to do is we want to come and watch our image, right? So we say const image, and then this image is going to be watched, just like this image, right? And then you want to make sure that this image, is the same as this image, just like that. All right, so nice and clean. We have been able to specify this very nicely, and we can now move on. So let us quickly write the function that allows us to what upload or handle image upload, right? So we can come and just say what const handle upload, just like this. Sorry, then we open that up. Okay, we open that up just like this. Then inside this upload, what we want to say is what we want to get the result parameter. So result is going to be any, right? Then inside here, what we want to do is we want to set value. We want to set value to be what? To be the image, just like this. And we say what we want to make sure that it's the image field, right? But like we want to say what value is it going to be? It's going to be the result dot what info dot secure URL, just like this, and we are going to be passing in the last one, which is what should validate, and then we are going to be saying it should be what true, just like this. Great job. So once you are done with this, what we want to do is we want to work on the last function that we need here, and that is going to be our on submit. So we come here and then we say on submit like this. So on submit here, all right. Then we're going to have to take this submit handler All right, so the submit handler like this. Then this submit handler is going to be taking in a field values, the field values type like this. Then right after we want to take the data parameter. Then we just open up the curly braces like this. Then we set its loading to be true like this. All right, set its loading to be true just like this. Then we'll come and see what Axios. So it comes out like this. We need to import Axios. You can see that it's imported above, just like this over here. Just make sure that you import it before you move on, or else you might face some unnecessary errors. All right, so let's say, so Axios dot what post. Then let's make sure that we are entering what our API. Okay, so slash API like this slash settings. And right after that, what we want to do is we want to come here and then pass in the data. All right, now once we make our call to this particular API, what do we want to happen? Let's write our promises. So we say, oh, once we make this call to this API, the next thing we want to do is what we want to basically what refresh. Okay, so we want to say, okay, so let me quickly open this up as a curly braces. Then we say what router dot refresh, just like this, nice and clean. All right, then we just come and say what on close, and then we are going to just initialize it like this. Then after, we want to come here and catch, so say catch. Right, then inside here, what we want to say is what we want to take our toast dot error, and we want to say what something went wrong like this, something, so something went wrong just like this, nice and clean. So right after we've been able to set this up like we wanted to, what we're going to do is I'll just come and clean this, and then I'll say finally. Right, finally, what do we want to do? I'll just open this up like this, and we want to set what we want to set its loading to be false, just like this. All right, so right after we've been able to write this, we want to quickly come and then create our component for it. All right, so let's just open up this bracket right here. Then the first thing we want to do is we want to import the modal. Right, so modal, import it like that. Then right after importing it, what we want to do is we want to now pass in a form. All right, then we clean the action part of this form just like this, nice and clean. Now let's come and pass in a few props. Right, so just say what is open. Now is open is going to be taking in what this is open is going to be taking in is open from this side too as well. So I'll just see what is what is wrong with my typing. So it's open just like this. Then we would say what on close is going to take this on close from S, so on close just like this, nice and clean. So having this is open and then close over here, what do we want to do next? Inside this form, we want to say what on submit. So on submit, we want to pass in what handle submit, and inside we are going to pass in on submit what we created there, nice and clean, just like this. All right, so once we are done with it, what we want to quickly do is we want to come and then create a few divs here. So the first div we are going to do is what this div is going to have space y12 as its first class name. So you can just do it like how I just did it using the image shortcut, just like that. And if you, in case you want to see the modal, we can just expand this window like this until we see the desktop sidebar over here like this. Okay, and then you can see that when I clicked on the profile picture, you can see that is showing right here right now, nice and clean. All right, so now that we can see Modal, let's start styling. All right, so what we are quickly going to do is, very sorry about that. So what we are quickly going to do is we are going to open up, or we are going to create this new div. Then inside we are going to be passing in a class name, and then this class name is going to have what, border b, just like this, and then we have what, border gray 900. Then we just pass in like this opacity something, right? So yeah, so you can see it show over here, right? So that one's for opacity. Then we say what, pb what 12, just like this, nice and clean. So right after we've been able to do this, what we quickly want to do is we want to open up profile. We want to write profile inside, just like this. All right, nice and clean. So but it looks like this profile here is going to have to be in its own div, right? So inside, let's create a div right here, a div right here like this. Then we say what, profile, just like this. All right, and then inside this div, what we are quickly going to do is what, we want to write a class name, and this class name is what, is text base, like this. Then we say what, font semi bold. Okay, so font semi bold like this. And then we have what, leading 7, like this. Then we have text gray 900, just like this. Then we have our profile all set and done. So I can just, and then you can see it appear right around here, nice and clean. We can move on with our project. So having a profile here like this, what we can do is we can just come here. Okay, so we can just come here, and then what we are quickly going to do is we're going to come under this this profile here, right? We can come under this profile here. Even if we want, we can just set this profile to h2 to make it, to make it seem semantically correct. And we can come down and then create, maybe let's make it a p tag instead. Then inside this p tag, we say what, edit your profile information, or public information, information, like this. Then inside this p tag, we can simply pass in a few class names if we want. So we say what, we'll come here and then we'll give it an empty one, just like this. We'll give it a text sm, just like this. Then we'll come and give it a leading 4, and then we'll give it what, let's give it a leading 6 instead. I think that one will make it better. Then let's give it what, text gray 600, like this. All right, so now that we have edit your profile edit your public information here like that, the next thing we want to do is we want to be able to have the fields where we use it to change. So what we'll do is we'll just come here and then create this div right here, all right. Then we'll come above and then we'll create a class name, and then this class name is going to be what, nt30. So class name, so it's going to be what, nt30, like this. Okay, nice. So nt10, and I feel like 30 is a little too long, so okay. Then we say what, gap y, so gap y, then what, 8 should be good. So gap y 8. Then we come here, and then we now have to come and apply the input. So for the input, we can simply just call it, because we have already created that component before, so we can just import it. like this, and then you can check above, we have imported the input right over here, nice and clean. So we can quickly continue. If you want to preview it, you can always preview it by simply either switching to the window or expanding it so that you see this. And then okay, says register is not a function. Okay, that is a little weird. Let us quickly refresh this. Okay, so that is because we have not passed in the necessary properties that we are supposed to pass in, right? So let us quickly say what disabled is going to be set to is loading right here. So disabled is going to be set to is loading. Then we say what, let's give it a label, and then this label is going to be what, name, like this. All right, then we are going to give it an ID, and then this ID is going to be what, name, just like this. Then we give it the error, and then this error is going to be what, errors that we took. No, so these errors from the field values like this. All right, then we just pass in what, register to be what, register, just like this. All right, so right after we've been able to do that, we should not get an error when trying to preview. So you can see it just appeared here, nice and clean. You can see it right here. So let's not waste too much time, let's just move on by simply just copying this. Or if you like, we can even choose to just, we can basically choose to just leave it, right? And then just come and create our photo. So what we'll do is what, we'll just say div, right? So we just say div, then inside this div we are not going to give it any class name. We are just going to create this label, and then we remove the HTML4 just like this, and then this label instead is going to have its own class name, right? So this label, let's quickly just write the text inside. So it's going to be a photo, just like this. All right, then let's pass in the class name necessary. Yeah, we are going to have to pass it into the label. All right, so for this label, the class names you're going to be passing should be what, block. All right, so block, then we give it what, text sm, just like this. Then we give it font medium, like this. Then we give it a leading 6, just like this. And then let's not forget our text gray 900. Okay, I thought it would auto complete it for us, but it was just a little slow. Nice and clean. So we can simply just cut this out and cut that out, nice and clean, like that. All right, so right after we are done with that, we can simply come under this label here and then create a div, and then this div is going to have a few class names. So let's just give it the class name that it needs. So it's going to be what, mt2, like this. Then we say what, flex, then item center, oh, flex, then item center, then we give what, the gap x3, just like this. All right, so right after giving these bad boys, I feel like we should actually just, I feel like we should just reduce it like this. Okay, just like this. Okay, all right, nice and clean. All right, so right after we are done with that, what we want to do is we just take our image. Then the image, we are going to be taking it from what, next/image, just like this. And then inside we are going to be doing a few weird modifications here, right? So here we just see what, width 48, right? We are passing it inside with 48, nice and clean, right? Then we take the height, we can pass in the height just like this as 48 as well, nice and clean, no problem. Let's move on. then this is where we are going to be doing the modifications, right? If okay, so let's just do it, let's just finish it, and I'll show you the difference. So we have what rounded full, and then we can just say what's let's just leave it at rounded full. I want to show you the difference. Okay, or let's just add it, right? Let's just add in it. I'll just take it out. So we say width, then the width is going to be what 48 pixels, and then the height is going to be 48 pixels as well. Let's make sure we wrap it around the square brackets just like this, right? Now we just set it to object cover like this, object cover like this. All right, so now we have these bad boys out here smashing it. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to set the alt to what avatar, the last gang member, but yeah, then we see the image, so we can either set it to the image or the current user slash, so current user question mark image, just like this, or we can say what the one that we have, the new user profile type of image that we have, dot what png, just like this. Alright, so right after setting it up like this, I wanted to show you the difference, but I guess I can't show you the difference or the reason why I wanted us to re-add this instead of this until we're actually done, because like I want us to be testing and showing you the difference at the same time type of situation. So right after this, we want to create the button that would allow us to change our profile picture, right? So, or avatar, right? So what we are going to do is we just come here and then import cld dot upload button that we got from Cloudinary, like this. So like this, then we wrap it around a button, and then this button is going to be, so this button is going to be what change, right? Then inside this button that we have here, what we are going to say is what we want to set disabled to be is loading like this, right? Then right after that, we want to make sure that this button is secondary, and then we want to set the type of the button to be button, just like this. All right, then right after we are done with that, what we want to do is we want to come into this cld right here, and then we want to pass in a few properties. So the first thing is what to say that the options is going to be what max files. So max files is what 1, just like this, right? Then we come here and then we'll say that we want on success handle upload, just like this. All right, then you say what upload preset. So for the upload preset, you can go and take the one that you used, before. I'm trying to remember where exactly we used the upload preset. Yeah, I think it's in the chat, right? To the conversation. So I think we can search for conversation box. I hope, right? Yeah, it should be somewhere around here. Okay, no, it's not that one. It should be, let's go up. Yeah, it's not here either. Trying kind of forgetting where we got it. I think it should be here, right? If it's not, yeah, the form, yeah, it should be in the form right here. That was what I was trying to find. So inside the form here, you can see that this is the upload preset that we used. Then we just close it like this, then we just come and paste it here. All right, nice and clean. So right after we have this neurofeed messenger upload presets or your upload presets name being put in here, we can simply just come to the last part. So we can scroll down. Let me quickly hide this. So you can come here, right around this side, right? Or if you want, or you are getting confused, what you can do is you can just count 1 2 3 4. So 1 2 3 4, right? Then you come and under this side, just like this, 1 2 3 4. Under the side, you can just come and then create a new div over here, right? And then inside this div, you are just going to pass in a few class names, right? So inside this div, let's pass in a few class names. So we'll see what mt6, like this. Then we'll see flex, then mt6 flex, mt6 flex item center, like this. And we have what justify, and just like this. And we have what gap x6, just like this, right? Then right after creating that, what we want to do is you can just come and copy this button right here, and then we'll come inside and then come and paste it here, and come and paste another one right here. Then what we are quickly going to do is we change this text to cancel. Maybe you want to see the preview of what is going on. It's right here, and you can just bring it back. So you have cancel, and then you have what save, or if you want to, you can see what save changes. Still the same thing, right? Then what you want to do is the first one, you want to set it to secondary, and then the second one you can just leave it just like that. Then you set the type to what submit, like this. Then for this one, for the first one, you just want to see what you just want to say on click. So whenever you try to when you try to click on it, it will just what close. So we say what on close, just like this. Alright, so if I click on this, no no, that shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. I think we had to, yeah, like I needed it to basically recompile, because like that shouldn't have happened. So we have this, and you can see when I click on the cancel, it goes, and when I click on the save changes, it will just save changes as it should. So you can see it's loading and the changes have been saved. We can test this change profile picture here by clicking on this change. So I think so this is basically the point where I can show you what I was trying to show you. So we can just come to this place like this, and I'll take this off. I'll just cut it with Ctrl X. I'll not go anywhere. I'll just cut it like that, right? Then what I'll do is you can see that even when I cut it, you can see that this has been deformed. The photo look here has been deformed like this, right? And I was trying to figure out a way to do it, and I realized I had to like manually set the pixels inside the project like that, right? So that's how come we're able to get this stable look right here, right? And if we take out the object cover, it looks, I don't know, looks disoriented, right? So you can see, but like when we put the object cover inside, and everything seems quite okay. So what we can do is I can just change, right? So can expand, so we see things much better. Can just come and select like some random photo over here. So some random photo right here. This is one of my projects I created when I started learning to code. So you can see that the image has been changed over here, right? Then if I can change it again to this image right here as well, and you can see that it has been changed like this. But I don't know, it's still kind of weird why when I add this, it makes it look like the quality is gone and everything. But it's just, I just wish it could maintain that you know, that rounded look, if you get what I'm trying to say. So I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's what we are dealing with. That's what we are dealing with at the moment, right? So even though it might look like this, if we save, it will save. And if we check out the results, you should see that it looks quite clear over here like that, right? And let's select another one. So yeah, it's okay. Then we can just save like this, and then you would see that the image will be right here, nice and clean. All right, so that is basically it for the settings functionality and the settings modal. And then in the next one, we are going to be moving on to one more modal, and then we can just continue.